On our tour, this is General Lee's headquarters at Gettysburg. There used to be a whole bunch of other buildings around here, but they were not during the Civil War, so this was. And that's what we're going to go see. It looked like in the 1830s. Here's what it looks like today. Here's what this looked like in 2014. This is the barn foundation that's been taken down, as well as the motel that was on the property. This is 1 week after the battle. Here's what it looked like in 2014 with the motel. Here's what it looks like today, motel gone. A vegetable garden. I suppose there was some such garden here, time of the Civil War. This is what it looks like inside, but it's closed today.
And then he showed me how to use it.
Seminary Ridge. This was a Lutheran seminary and still is. After, this is Seminary Ridge, which doesn't seem to be much of a ridge. I wouldn't want to be going uphill with the enemy firing down on me. It's called a breastwork. Looks to me like a little stone wall, but there were guys behind it shooting at the enemy. This is an active seminary, although maybe they're all on summer vacation because I don't see anybody around other than us few tourists. Some guys from Maine stationed here, and here's their cannon that was aimed in that direction, shooting at the rebels coming at them. Nice house. It's the Lure's house for some reason. Here's a nice Lutheran church. General Warren here was the Union's chief engineer. He stepped out onto the rocks. Meade sent him here to determine if the hill was in danger of capture. He found the Union Signal Corps sending coded messages to the headquarters, but no infantry. Little Round Top was undefended.
Occupied. And he knows the critical importance of it because he had helped General Meade put the fish hook line in place. So he climbs on a boulder, perhaps the very one where his bronze portrait statue rests today on Little Round Top, and he looks to the west. And what does he see? Thousands of Confederate soldiers moving, getting information for attack. Those are James Longstreet soldiers. He's on my left to attack, moving up the southern face of Little Round Top. So beginning at 4:45 and raging for the next 90 minutes, we'll have combat on Little Round Top. Time, Chamberlain's boys rally and drive the Alabamians back. But after the fifth attack, Chamberlain's in a tight spot. In an hour of combat, he's lost 30% of his men. They're running out of ammunition, and his men are exhausted. But he can look to his front. He can see the Alabamians reforming for perhaps a fifth attack. And he would write that he fully believed his men could not withstand just one more shock. So he gathers his men about him and tells them, we're going to make a charge. It's complete. He moved behind the color bearer, and he would shout, bayonet! And he said the word was enough. He said his boys sprang upon the Alabamians just 30 yards to their front, and he said the event was surprising. He said many of the Alabamians' first line threw down their arms and surrendered. He approached one Alabama lieutenant who discharged his pistol, just missing Chamberlain, past his head, and at the same time that same lieutenant reached to his side, withdrew his sword, and surrendered to Colonel Chamberlain. And Colonel Chamberlain eventually is awarded the Medal of Honor. So,
and standing up here viewing over the entire battle scene. Of the Potomac 5th Corps Artillery Brigade was here, and these are 6 rifled 10-pounders. 1st Pennsylvania Infantry came up this slope at double quick in the evening to get this position, and having aided in repulsing the attack of the enemy upon this line, remained here till the close of the battle. On July 2nd at noon, looking northwest from here, you can see where much of the fighting occurred. The Union line stretched north to the edge of town, and that's way out there, 2 to 3 miles, and it formed a fishhook. The Union line was nearly 3 miles in length. You can see what these guys were climbing up. Not easy. And this was in July. Probably hot. Rocky up here. I assume sometime eons ago there was a volcano somewhere around here. Interesting shot. He sees Confederates in the distance, and oh, whoops. If they didn't do anything, if they got round top, the Union would be dangerously outflanked. So he quickly said, "Send help." The troops are up here hiding amongst these rocks, and the Confederates are attacking, and they're coming up this hill. This guy is named Vincent, Colonel Strong Vincent, mortally wounded here at 26, died in a field hospital 5 days after the battle, but he'd been promoted to brigadier general. I'm sure his family appreciated that. Colonel Patrick O'Rourke, and he was killed here July 2nd, but the restaurant we ate at lunch was O'Rourke's Tavern. Monument is in honor of the 44th New York Infantry.
Although the 4th Alabama pressed its attack, Lieutenant Colonel Scruggs reported that, quote, owing to the exhausted condition of the men,
Westwards were here
despite the promising start, a crisis soon
during the
developed on
Civil
right.
War, during this
A
battle.
crisis soon developed on the right.
Monument to the 44th New York Infantry is the largest and most expensive of the hundreds of regimental monuments placed on the battlefield by surviving veterans. Little Round Top was among the first preserved battlefield land at Gettysburg. This was taken in 1902.